Hi friends, welcome you all. Today I am going to discuss in this lecture the remedies for distress in Indian agricultural sector. In the previous lecture I have discussed the problems or the causes to distress in Indian agricultural sector. Before that we have discussed the causes and the characteristics of Indian agricultural sector, which have created lot of problems, and Indian agricultural sector is lagging behind. So what can be the solution for this? We can discuss here with the help of different points. Before that, I just take the review. In the previous lecture we have discussed these points, the reasons for Indian agricultural distress: poor policy and planning, absence of direct measures to promote farmer welfare, then declining average size of farms, collapsing farm prices, lack of easy credit, fragmented supply chain, lack of mechanizations. These are the some problems or the reasons to agricultural distress in India. So, what is the impact of these factors on the Indian agricultural sector? The above factors or above reasons have resulted in low income for farmers, and which is again ultimately converted into poverty among the farm household or farmers family. So they have trapped into vicious circle of poverty because of the low income trap happening or existed in the Indian agricultural sector. So the farm output and the low prices um, converted into low income for the farmers. The low and highly fluctuating farm income is causing a detrimental effect on the interest in the farming and farm investments, and is also forcing more and more cultivators, particularly younger age group, to leave farming. So can you imagine what is the effect on the Indian agricultural sector, that farmers do not want to do farming, particularly younger age group. They want to do the fourth class job instead of the doing farming, because low and highly fluctuating farm income, and the investment in farm is very risky, and whatever the farmers put into the soil, it will get into back or not, there is the uncertainty. So the cultivators and a younger age group want to leave farming. If you, the one survey says that if you offer them a fourth class job or the simple job, they will leave farming. So can you imagine how the impact is on the farming sectors? The country also witnessed a sharp increase in the number of farmer suicides in the last decades. So there is a very uh, bad effect on the agricultural sector, that farmers are committing suicides, and a lot of farmer suicides happened in the last decades. So this can cause an adverse effect on the future of food security and the state of agriculture in the country. So the future of agricultural sector is not very bright, because the agricultural sector witnessing distress in India. What can be the remedies for agricultural distress in India? First is development initiative. So including infrastructure, technological inventions, farmers friendly policies, and institutional mechanisms can increase the agricultural growth and farmers income. So then next is technology. The technology can help to reduce yield gap and thus improve productivity. To improve the productivity and production, the technology can help. So the mechanization and upgradation of technology in Indian agricultural sector increased productivity compared to previous time period, and increased production also. But the upgrading technology also increasing the cultivation costs. So technology with farmers friendly technology and in the cheaper cost should be there in the agricultural sector. Then the water use efficiency can be improved significantly with better use of technologies, that is include drip irrigation, sprinklers, and many more methods. So the water use efficiency and the water supply to the area of water supply should be increases, the irrigated land should be increases, so that it can improve the production and productivity and ultimately the farmers income. So water use efficiency can be improved with the better use of technology. Next point, we can say that improvement in allied sectors. So this is very important. Many small farmers cannot leave agriculture because of lack of opportunity in the non-farm sector. So non-farm sector should be increased because the dependency on the farm is very much compared to other advanced countries, because the allied activities or agri-allied sector is not very much developed in India, such as food processing or the factories uh, which are running on the farm input. So the non-farm sector or allied agri-allied sector should be increased. Hence, like sectors like horticulture, food processing, poultry, and other many more fisheries need to be pushed. For instance, government initiative like Project Chaman or Agri Udan program, scheme for agromarine processing and development of processing clusters, that is Sampada. These are the notable initiatives taken by government to improve allied sectors or allied agricultural sectors. So the allied sectors or non-farm sector should increase to decrease the dependence on the farm or the agricultural sector, so that the farmers can move from the farming activity to allied activity. The quantitative framework for doubling farmers' income has the following seven sources of growth. In the budget, government said that the farmers' income, they have the plan to double the farmers' income. So they have given the seventh areas where the farmers can be they the quantitative framework they have given and areas they have given how to increase the farmers income. So first is given increase in productivity of crop. So productivity of crop should be increased, per hectare crop should increase in the production of livestock means the uh, fisheries, poultries, and the animal husbandries, etc. So increase in the production of livestock is important to increase the income of the farmers. Improvement in the efficiency of input use. So uh, input should be cost saving because Indian agricultural sector have the largest cost or in the world. So the efficiency of input should be low. The efficiency of input should be cost saving and it should be efficient. So input should be cheaper, and the technology can do this. Then increase in the crop intensity should be increased there, because the mixed crops and the the many crops can be taken. For example, if you take the moong and urad, then you can take the sunflower crop, and again the sunflower is short term crop for just in it can get into 3 months, and then you can take the groundnuts. So the three crops can be taken in 1 year. So the crop intensity should be increased in the farming area. Then diversification towards high value crops. So the crops should be diversified. That is, one single crop can be damaged due to the environmental conditions. But the if there is the diversification of the crops, then the farmers will not, the risk can be diversified, the damage of the crops and the production should can be reduced when farmers diversified their crops. And crops should be high valued crops, not the lower valued crops or the traditional crops. It should be high value crops. Then improve price realization by farmers. So recently government of India improved the minimum support price, but the minimum implementation of minimum support price is not that much in India. Because if you observe in the at marketplaces, you will find that the below minimum support price for the traders purchasing from the farmers. And if farmers go to the government agency, then there is the very much time consuming and legal formalities are there, so that the farmers cannot wait till that date, and they have to sell it below minimum support price. But government is trying to improve price realization by farmers. The latest agri bill have that provision that middlemen are removed, tried to remove the middlemen from farmers, and between farmers and the retailers. So the improved price realization one can become a one policy. The shift of cultivator to non-farm jobs. The non-farm jobs, the rural jobs, can be developed to reduce the dependence on the farm. There is need to make a shift from rice to wheat centric policies to millet and pulses, fruits, vegetable, livestock and fish. So there is a need to shift from the rice and food grains production to the other foods or other crops, that is pulses, fruits, vegetables, livestock and fish. So the farmers are much more dependent on food grains or food crops, but they should take the other crops like fruits, vegetable, livestock and fisheries. The creation of a competitive, stable and unified national market is needed for farmers to get better prices. So competitive market should be there, stable market, the price fluctuation should be stable, and unified national market. Government have taken recently the initiative to create a digital market for farmers, but there are very much lacuna and practical problems are there. So unified national market is needed, so everywhere farmers can sell for better prices. So the market should be competitive and the perfect competitiveness should be there. So when competition increases, then the farmers can get the better prices for their production. Cooperative farming. In the context of consolidation of land holding, the fragmentation of land is the problem in Indian agricultural sector. Small holding of land is the problem in Indian agricultural sector. So to raise the farmers' incomes, farmers can voluntarily come together and pull land to gain the benefit of this size through consolidation. So farmers can take the benefit of economies of scale both in input procurement and output marketing. So the cooperative farming is important to invest the pool of fund in the agricultural sector, mechanization to purchase the upgraded technology, machines, and to in whatever the projects is there in agricultural sector, the cooperative farming is the best solution for that, because single farmers have the less capital, but if they come together they can invest the bulky amount to upgrade the technology in agricultural sector, to purchase machineries, and to invest in agricultural sector. So cooperative farming is important. What are the government steps to reduce agrarian distress? The goal set to double farmers' income by 2022-23 is the central to promote farmers' welfare, reduce agrarian distress, and bring parity between the income of farmers and those working in non-agricultural profession. So farming sector is lagging behind compared to non-agricultural professions. So government have the goal to double the farmers income by 2022-23, and they are promoting different schemes for that. In recent years, the central government has taken various measures like the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, but a lot of problems are there, we have discussed already. Then Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, then Electronic National Agricultural Market, that is we called it ENAM, that is Electronic National Agricultural Market have created. Then soil health card scheme is going on. Then neem coated urea is distributed. So these are the policy or initiative taken by Government of India. So agriculture is a major component of priority sector lending, that is agricultural sector comes under priority sector, and the target for bank lending to agricultural sector has been revised upwards every year. So every year government revising the upward limit for the agricultural sector or priority sector lending. Priority sector is the compulsory lending for the banks, so they have to lend that much amount to the priority sector. So they lend that much amount into agricultural the priority sector, and Indian agricultural sectors comes under priority sector. Then in addition to food subsidy under public distribution system, the government also providing fertilizer subsidy year after year. In the budget of 2018 for farmers, the union budget has announced minimum support price at 50% above the production cost, but it is not implemented yet, and the input cost is increasing, but MSP is not increasing that much. This minimum support price at 50% above the production cost suggested by the National Commission on Farmers, that is the Swaminathan Commission. It also proposed to launch Operation Greens in the agricultural sector on the same lines of the milk sectors. That is, in the milk sector there was Operation Flood. So like that, it is proposed to launch Operation Greens. In 2019 budget announced a farm support scheme, that is PM Kisan for farmers owing up to 2 hectares of land. Some states have introduced farm support scheme, example being the Raithu Bandhu scheme in Telangana, and the Krashak Assistant for Livelihood and Income Augmentation, that is Kalia scheme in the Odisha. So in a nutshell or in a conclusion remark, the ever-changing agricultural sector requires proactive policy management, which can maximize benefit for all the stakeholders or farmers. Raising the minimum support price, deficiency payment, or income support schemes can only be a partial solution, not a permanent solution to the problem of providing remunerative returns to farmers. A sustainable solution is market reforms to enable better price discovery combined with long-term trade policies favorable to exports. So this should be increased. Minimum support price and the partial support solutions are not cannot bring the permanent solution in Indian agriculture sector. So market reform should be there to enable the better price for the uh, agricultural output. For better price for farmers, agriculture has to go beyond farming and develop a value chain comprising farming, wholesaling, warehousing, logistic processing, and retailing. So, for the better prices, farming should be developed on the uh, as a value chain. The most effective and least distortionary way to support farmers would be through direct benefit transfers. So, direct benefit transfers reduces corruption, and it is the most effective way to support the farmers to direct transfer in their account. What is abundantly clear is that loan waivers are not the panacea, they are made out to be politically. So, loan waivers is the not the permanent solution for the farmers, and those who are not those do not have the farm, they don't get the benefit of loan waiving scheme. Those who are regularly paying the loans, they are not getting the benefit for that. So it is not a permanent solution. Those who want to help India's farmers should be working much harder to figure out what they really need. So those who want to help the Indian farmers, they should be work much harder to figure out what they want uh, to help and what farmers really need. The National Commission on Farmers, that is NCP, and Your Green Revolution have discussed here. The NCF, that is National Commission on Farmers, was constituted on November 18, 2004, under the chairmanship of Professor M.S. Swaminathan, who was the farmer of Green Revolution in India. So its recommendation mainly focus on issues of access to resources and social security entitlement, and contains suggestion for inclusive growth of farmers and the agricultural sector in India. So on the issue of minimum support price, the committee recommended providing farmers with a minimum support price at 50% above the cost of production, as we have discussed. So they have classified as C2 by the Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices, that is CACP. So CACP proposes three definitions of production cost. So first definition is A2, actual paid out expenses incurred by farmers, minus in cash and kind on seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. Sorry, it is not minus. A2 is the first definition, actual paid out expenses incurred by farmers. So what are these expenses? That is the expenses on seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. Second definition given by CACP is A2 plus FL. So it is a A2 cost plus an imputed value of unpaid family labor. So family labor's cost is also should include in the cost of production. So A2 is the actual cost paid by the farmers. A2 plus FL is cost plus family members who are working on farm, their contribution, or if they bring from the outside of the family, then what is the cost farmers incur, that is. So it is a imputed value of unpaid family labor. And C2 is, it accounts for the rental or interest loan, owned land and fixed capital asset over and above. So the committee recommended the MSP to be basic cost and prescribed minimum support price 50% above C2. So it accounts for the rentals or interest loans, owned land and fixed capital asset. So the interest of own land, rent, if farmers give it on the rent, then whatever the rent they get, or the interest on the loan, so it is considered into C2. So the Swaminathan Commission recommended that minimum support price should be 50% and above 50% above C2, that is combined all the cost. So this was in the this lecture. Thank you. See you in the next lecture.